Alright, namaste, my friends. Today's yoga class was eye-opening, you know? So I was taking a little bit of what I was doing last night and the night before in incorporating the root lock into my practice. And, I was thinking that, I got to ease it up so that I don't overdo it and overstrain and get too tired to be able to make it to yoga the next day. And I think my body listened to me really well and was like, and I wasn't really focusing on the root lock. So what was happening in the root lock was like in the beginning, I had it all down and it was nice. And then when it was getting tired, it was like it just went out of my mind. The root lock, I didn't have to restrain myself from doing the root lock. It was more like it just disappeared from my mind. Sort of like when you start trying to control your breath the whole time. Once you like get into the class and start, really going, you like lose your breath and it's like, wait, why haven't I been, really focusing on it? And it's hard because it's like once your breath starts breathing super fast and unconsciously, it takes a lot of power to like get it under control. So it's like you lose it and then it's gone and you don't even think about it and you're just like in the heat and in the muscles and you're just trying to like get to the next pose and finish it. So it was sort of like that with the root lock where it's like once it started getting tired, like halfway through the class, it was just like it just dipped out, even though I was focusing on it, and then I didn't strain too much to control it, so that like when I tried to squeeze it and it was kind of difficult, I just squeezed it that little bit that it was allowing me. I wasn't trying to like do 100% on it, which is what I was doing my first night. I was trying to do 100% on every squeeze and not really trying to listen to the signals that it was sending me. And so today I was just like really focusing on the signals that my root lock was sending me and seeing how much to squeeze, how hard, how intensely, and the different poses. And I kind of let go of my ab lock because I want to master the root lock first. And it was just like something that came to me in the middle of, not in the middle of class, like in the beginning, is that I was trying to do too much with the squeezing and relaxing of the abs at the same time, and squeezing of the abs and the relaxing of the root lock at the same time. And I didn't like how hard that was, and I don't think I'm ready for that. So I simply just brought it down to first I brought it down to just simply squeezing and just not intentionally trying to relax the other one, like squeezing the root and not intentionally trying to relax the abs and just letting it do whatever. And then on the exhale, intentionally squeezing the abs and unintentionally just letting the root lock do whatever it wants. And then I figured even that was a little too complex, so I just went back to squeezing the root lock on the inhales in the beginning of class and on the exhales. And then as the class progressed, I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna keep root lock engaged for as long as I can, and like let it take breaks whenever it wants. And so I just, yeah, like I engaged the root lock through all the poses, well, most of them, until I got tired. And then it was really interesting. It allowed me to go much deeper into the poses and to have much better alignment. So I'm going to be looking forward to seeing where I go. So the lesson of today was simplify things. Simplify one thing at a time, one thing at a time. Master the root lock. That is my focus now. Forget the ab lock. That will come later. And it was like a couple of visualizations that came to me in the root lock. Is that first I was just thinking of squeezing my perineum. What you squeeze to stop yourself from peeing or pooping, whatever, to stop the process. And then I expanded that as I like was going through class. I expanded it to include my whole pelvic floor. So like that whole area where you squeeze to stop the peeing, but also like the hips, like the attachment that goes around the hips. Like where your leg intercepts your upper body, your thighs and your glutes intercept your upper body. I was also squeezing that muscle, and I was seeing it as more like a plane rather than a single point to squeeze. A plane of, the two hips, the pelvic floor, And it was like really that's what allowed me to go like much deeper into my root lock, is by using the whole pelvic floor and the hips and the, not squeezing the hips themselves, but the connection between upper body and lower body. There's a plane along your pelvic floor where your upper body connects to your lower body. And I was just squeezing all of that to give dimension to my upper body and my lower body, and to, allow me to be able to locate where the muscles of the upper body begin and the muscles of the lower body begin, and then to incorporate the contracting and releasing of muscles so that I can get deeper into the poses with this differentiation. So that was today's practice. It was really fun. And I feel good. I just remembered I'm here because I need to do yoga every day, every freaking day. And a topic I want to touch on is that when one begins to be able to do Ujjayi through the whole class, to be focused the whole class for 1 hour, for your mind to not wander anywhere else, and you're focused on a single point of movement within this complex movement of yoga, all these poses and all this, connectivity, when you're able to just remain rooted and connected to one thing, which is the breath. That's like the number one ultimate thing of yoga, is to always be connected to the breath through, every breath is intentional. Every breath is according to you and your understanding of what your body needs and what your breath needs. And once you're able to do that, it's like you enter, this field which is perceivable and unperceivable. It is, I suppose, it can be similar to flow in that you're just so absorbed in the activity that you are entering. It's like time stops. Okay, let me try to describe what it feels like. Okay, it feels like you disappear. You disappear. I don't know where you disappear into, because I can't experience it. And then everything that's left, besides me, who I am, it's like who I am as the conscious agent. I mean, it's just like who I am. I am the sensation from which I have derived my identity, my individualism. So it's like that central point in my mind, in my third eye, right? That central seed of experience, right? That's the sensation. But it's not the seed of experience. It's the seed of the ego, where I perceive myself to be the center of. It's like in my mind, my center is over here, like, in the middle of my head somewhere, and the experiences of myself wrap around that point. So that point of like consciousness, that point where everything comes to, that I, that self, that individual me, that perceiver, the individual inside of my mind, disappears. It's like it unfurls itself and disappears behind, well, I want to say behind, but around. It's not here anymore. And what's left is the yoga. It is the intention. It is there's the intention, the listening, the moving, the coordinating, the collecting, and a lot of things which is not who I am. It's like I disappear somewhere else, and my body and mind are left to be themselves doing what they do, right? So it's like maybe I go into myself. Um, well, I don't even really understand how it works. I know what it feels like. And what happens is that like my mind and body are left here, or not even left here, but I dissolve inside my body and inside my mind. And it's just like there's just pure body, pure beingness, pure me, pure who I am, which is essentially what the deeper I am is. You know, there's this ego which which you know thinks it is the center of the world, and then there's like the actual ego, the actual individual, the actual intelligence and mechanism which allows you to be a breathing life form, a human consciousness. It's like the thing which allows you to exist as a human being upon reality, the thing holding you, not like gravity, but like the thing which is expressing your whole being. It's not limited to within the mind perceiving and experiencing. It is the actual life force, the actual life energy, the actual beingness of yourself in relation to reality. So the expression of reality into what you are is the actual who you are, who we are as an individual entity, as a human being. And it's like I believe, right, that this ego, perhaps it's false. It disappears when one does yoga and is fully focused and enamored with the breath and is just gone. What is left is simply the universe's expression of itself as reality, space's function of itself, expression of itself as reality, time's expression of itself as reality, all of reality's expression as the expression that is this form right here, that is this mass and molecules and whatever, all of it that is right here, that expression upon reality is the true essence of the self. And I believe that when you do yoga, that is what happens. This just disappears because it is not because it is the center and actually the I, but this ignorance, this what is it? This calcification, whatever it wants to be called, when that disappears and releases, what's left is what is. What's left is what actually is happening as the universe is expressing the energy of humanness, you know? Different matter, different molecules express different energies, you know, from heat to chemical reactions to whatever tangible energy is being expressed from a process can be named, you know, us, we're named as human. This whole process, this whole interaction between molecules and atoms and everything that is here is expressing the energy of heat and is giving off the energy of life. And that energy is what we actually are, you know, deep down rooted. And then even deeper, you know, the difference between energy and matter, or the expression of energy and matter, is a very thin one. You know, energy comes from matter, and therefore we are the matter that is a part of the universe. And then you just go deeper, and it's like we're just all this underlying fundamental oneness of now. So, anyway, that is yoga and what happens when you disappear. When, well, you don't disappear. It's just what is actually fundamentally there just comes through. All right, that's, you know, I'm gonna have to explain that a little more later. But namaste, my friends. I will see y'all tomorrow or tonight. Actually, tonight.